Adding and subtracting mixed numbers using number chips. This is a digital lesson, and it starts out explaining to the students what a mixed number is, and then how to add them together using models. So here we have 2.5 plus 1 1/4. And if they put them all together, they put the whole numbers together and then the fractions together, they can see that their answer is 3 3/4. The next slide, students are going to be doing that. So they're actually going to be moving these into place to solve the addition. And so they just click and hold on one of these squares and they can move them. So they've got 4 from this fraction, from this mixed number, and then they've got 1 more. And then if they add the other pieces together, they've got 1/2 plus 3/4. And they can see that that gives them 1 more whole piece plus 1/4. So they have 5 1/4. And they're just going to type in the answer, 5 1/4. So they've got a few more addition problems and subtraction problems to solve. Here's a subtraction. They're going to make sure that they're actually subtracting and not adding. And then we go into the number chips. So the number chips allow students to move the numbers into the correct place to solve each problem. And every number students need is on every slide. So if they get toward the end of the slide and the numbers aren't working, they know they've made an error somewhere and they need to go back and check. So here, if we add the whole numbers together, we get 9. And if we add the fractions together, we get 3/4. So they just click and hold on the edge and move the answers into place. Now they have a little hint here on the second one. They have to simplify their answer. So if they add 7 plus 2, they get 9. And then if they add the fractions together, they get 4/8, which simplifies to 1/2. You also notice on each one of these, there's a letter and a yellow heart. So at the very end of the lesson, they're going to be matching their answer to a letter in order to solve a fraction riddle. So they've got several problems to solve. Each one of these has a letter and a yellow heart. Some of these problems, they're going to have to find a common denominator. And then here they're asked to change their mixed number to a fraction, a whole fraction. We used to call it an improper fraction. And once we do that, then we add them together to get our answer. And on the final slide, now here they're going to find each one of these answers on a previous slide, and they're just going to type in the letter that was in the yellow heart next to the answer. They're going to solve the riddle, why did Carrie do only half of her homework? Then the final slide, there's a challenge problem. On this one is subtraction. Students, in order to do the fraction subtraction, they're going to have to borrow thirds from the whole number. So it's a challenge to see if students can figure that out. So this is the digital lesson, adding and subtracting mixed numbers with number chips. And included in this lesson is a foldable for the notebook and a worksheet to follow the digital lesson.